14 seconds until this game starts, and I want to explain to you why I'm going double jungle Sion. The enemy bot lane has chosen Caitlyn and Seraphine. This means they have heal and poke. The combination of those two things against what we have in the bot lane is just not gonna work. So what's the point of default losing when you can run around the map and potentially win? During our level 1 invade, we spot the enemy Akali. Rather than me chasing her as well, I'm keeping my eye on the enemy jungler trying to figure out where he's starting. Which, once it's clear he's starting on blue, I go to our team's Raptors. Evidently, the Graves was thrilled to be sharing with us, so we take that Raptor, get level 2, and head across to the blue. As soon as we enter the brush, we see the enemy blue on 3 health and are unable to smite it in time. Rather than immediately flashing here, I'm waiting for the timer on my Q to come back. I also pull back to make it look like I was running away. I can then abuse Fog of War to get this kill. We end up dying and handing the blue back over to the enemy Viego. We were unfortunately getting quite unlucky when it came to our timing. Things were just not going our way. I tried to contest that scuttle and then they collapse and we die one more time. Not the best start to this game, I would say. One thing that was positive that came from it is the Viego decided to tower dive. And the reason he did that is because when he went to the Krugs, we had already taken it. And he then assumes that the entire red side's gone and he's got nothing to farm, which means he has to force this, which really he didn't. Graves ends up clearing the red and the Raptors and then gets super far ahead. Even though it was a rough start to this game, by this point, we have taken full control. I'm able to get into the enemy jungle. He's trying to invade our Graves while we're getting the free camps on his side of the map. And now we're also in a position where we can gank the bot lane. Once I saw the level discrepancy between the Ashe and the enemy bot lane, I decided rather than roaming around the map and trying to steal camps, the best option for me is to just sit in the bot lane and abuse the fact that we have a massive lead. I know that contradicts our original statement of the lane would lose, but at the end of the day, you need to be able to adapt on the fly. In this situation, Ashe got fed because of that tower dive, which means the lane, it's no longer a losing lane. In particular, it would have been worse if we went to the lane having to deal with the 2v2 because of the heal and poke, whereas coming back to a winning lane is quite easy. As soon as the clock hit 15, the enemy team raised the white flag and we win game number 1. With that, we gained 21 LP. Considering that game only went for 15 minutes, it was pretty action-packed, just like the sponsor of today's video, Marvel Strike Force. This is an action-packed squad-based RPG where you're gonna get the power, the ability to handpick your own epic Marvel teams that you can use to battle iconic enemies. The best part is all new players can unlock up to 17 S-tier characters in the first 30 days, including Spider-Man, Deadpool, Wolverine, Thor, and plenty of others. All you gotta do is one simple thing. Download Marvel Strike Force right now using my link in the description, or to make things even easier, just scan the QR code on the screen. You'll be able to download it completely for free. Plus, you're gonna get some bonus free characters to start you off. My favorite part about Strike Force is that you aren't limited by just heroes. If you want to recruit villains into your roster, then so be it. There's a bunch of game modes that you can take your wacky team compositions into, including campaign mode, blitz, arena, and there's also Alliance War, which is a massive weekly alliance battle. It also has a lot of technical depth built into the game, meaning specific champions synergize well with others. So creating a well-balanced team is going to be the key to mastering it. New champions, they're constantly being released, and this month be on the lookout for the highly anticipated Absolute A-Force. It's led by the brand new character Kahori. So look, if you're a fan of Marvel like me, love tactical RPGs, or you simply just want to create your own version of the Avengers, download Marvel Strike Force today. Use the link in the description or the QR code on your screen. If you do that and use the bonus code DEC24, you're going to get all the characters on screen completely for free. In game number 2, we are playing Sion top up against a Warwick. This is a very finicky matchup, one that I must be very cautious in. And as we enter lane, I'm very vigilant about staying away from this top brush. They love to sit in there. That is, of course, until we see him appear on the map in our jungle. That very well could have gone in our favor if the Viego didn't misplay it. He should have pulled away, allowing me to lower Warwick and then come back to clean it up. We have to run now straight into our minion wave, or else the Warwick would just beat us down too. I do manage to pull 1 kill back onto this Warwick, but instead of going back, I decided to stay. Sadly, the Skarner, of course, punishes us, but overall, still positive for our lane. It just sucks we gave Skarner gold. As soon as we get back, there's another exchange, and we keep getting Warwick very low. He just lifesteals it all back up, and that means we're under this tower with no summoner spells, low HP, and he's healed to 70%. Our Q was misplaced, and this ends up allowing Warwick to kill us. We do, however, clear the full minion wave with the passive. Once we return to lane, the wave is bouncing in the Warwick's favor, which is a terrible position for us to be in, because it means if we want gold and experience, we must now fight this Warwick, which we already can't do. It's looking kind of gloomy, to be quite honest with you. Just because it's looking a little grim doesn't mean that I'm not willing to try and fight for this lead. I want to see exactly how good these Korean players are, and this is a perfect time to try that out. Success, but we can't celebrate for too long because the Skarner comes straight back to the top, kills us, and then freezes the way for his top laner. Whatever step forward we had just taken, it is now 3 steps back because we're in the exact same position. Wave is frozen and Warwick is able to 1v1 us. Securing that kill onto Warwick gives us enough gold to complete our first item. Now we have wave clear and we have magic resist, which is perfect for dealing with the Warwick. A fight breaks out around the void where the enemy Skarner can't really help, and then we get another kill. And from here, it's the Sion show. We're fast forwarding 5 minutes now into the future. This is kind of all you really need to know about the Warwick matchup. In the 1v1, they're very strong because they can infinitely heal. Sion, on the other hand, is the king of teamfights. Once these teamfights start breaking out, we can completely control the Warwick, control his team, and from that, just control the game. Front to back team comps where they have no way of dealing with the ADC because they can't go through me, that's where they struggle. In this situation, I could care less about killing Tahm Kench. What he is to me is bait. If they come to defend him, they're in trouble. It's important to remember, even though you see us winning all of these team fights, if you look at the team score, they're still greatly in the lead. The reason behind that is because as a team, it's very clear that our 5v5 is much stronger, but when we're not in these 5v5 situations, they've been getting a lot of picks, and in this case, they got a pick onto our primary carry, the ADC, and then they also managed to get a pick onto a secondary carry, and this allowed the enemy team to start the Baron. Even though it wasn't a complete success, there's a lot of promise in this team fight. Personally, I think Viego misplayed in the middle of this fight, and that's what turned it in their favor. But still, like, we took this, they clearly had the edge in numbers, plus the buff, and we are still almost winning, which is a very bad sign for the enemy team. We've just secured the flash and the ultimate from Warwick, and out of the fog of war, they come running directly at me. This seems like both respect towards Sion, but also desperation. Clearly, they've realized I am a big problem for them, and they need to get rid of me before the team fight starts. So far in this match, one of the primary issues on the enemy team is this Ezreal, and rather than allowing him to go back and reset, I decide the best option is to hard force straight into Ezreal's face. It doesn't look like a great play until you realize that the Drake is about to spawn, and this is our Soul Drake. This is for the Mountain Soul. So trading my life for this Ezreal in a crucial moment such as this is so important. The fight was looking very promising until the jungler showed up, bouncing over the wall, forcing our mid laner to reposition and waste his flash. Now we're the only one left, and we need to stop the enemy from taking our Soul Drake. Even though I knew Skarner was close, I figured it's still worth the risk. Didn't pay off in the end. Skarner secures the Mountain Drake, and the game goes on. Rather than going for this Baron, I make the educated guess that they're going to be able to kill the Baron by themselves, so I'm going to go mid. Keep an eye on my gold. We go from 500 gold all the way to 1,600 plus, which is the exact amount we need for this critical item. The Visage works really well in connection with the items that we've already purchased. We have additional healing, additional shields, which is exactly what this build's all about. I don't really speak too much on builds because it's very versatile, but this is a pretty damn good stock standard build. It allows you to make ridiculous plays without dying, and this right here is genius. We take that tier 2, secure the gold, and look exactly where we ended up. At the Soul Drake, which this time our team secures it uncontested from the enemy. We were already so tanky, now chuck the soul buff onto that and imagine how strong we're gonna be. Did anyone else notice that my shield is about 3,000 in this clip just from pressing W? I end up recalling and teleporting in. We want to spread the Baron buff out and just trap the enemy. You don't want them to be able to defend the tower. This way we divide, conquer, open up more objectives for us, which is going to end the game quicker. Our team is now in a commanding position. Both top and bottom inhibitors have been destroyed. We just reset and head down the mid lane. This is the last inhibitor, and unfortunately for the enemy team, Silas got spotted by the sweeper on the ADC, which means we got the perfect team fight. That was a last-ditch effort from the enemy team, and I do like what they were trying to go for, the flank. Just a bit unlucky. Either way, we run straight through the base, closed it out. We gained 20 LP, on to game number 3. Last video, 2 new members joined. Thank you to Half-Blood Prince and Terraria. Of course, there are plenty of perks to joining, including member badges, channel emojis, access to the live stream VODs. Plus, when you leave a comment on the videos, it gets sent to a private section in my analytics, recognition on the main channel page. If you would like to support the channel and have a shout out in the next video, click that join button next to the channel name today. This time we're playing the Ruby Crystal Sion build, which means we start with no Doran shield and we can reach our items faster. At the end of this invade, we've now secured first blood. Everyone on our team gets to go back to base safely, and we make it to top lane in time to catch all the minions and experience. We're going to skip through this laning phase. Mundo vs Sion is very boring. The only thing you really need to know is that I started this lane without a Doran shield. We started it with a Ruby Crystal. So even though we don't get the kill here, we're still so far ahead that once we come back to lane, we're actually in a position of having lane tempo because of our item advantage. And we then use this lane tempo to move outside of our lane, looking to secure these voids. It's so strange to me. Just like in the last video, the junglers, they come to the top lane and gank our lane. I'm just not used to this. For some reason, everyone in my server sacks the Sion lane, but these guys, they just milk it for all it's worth. This means that I get further ahead in the top lane, and it's much easier for me to find moments to come and help the bot lane. Turns out these guys didn't even need me to come, but hey, better safe than sorry. And this begins the era of me trying to suggest to Jinx or Jarvan to pick up an Executioner's Calling. We need this item against the Mundo. Right now, our team is doing so well. All the lanes are ahead, and people have this mentality of that's going to keep going. They don't think about scaling or the problems that we are going to be facing in the future. And I'm telling you right now, I already know problems in the future. It's going to be both Swain and Mundo, and not being able to kill them unless we pick up some goddamn heal cut. They have insane amounts of health regeneration, and with Mundo getting that massive shutdown on Jinx, it has just begun. While our team was securing the 3 kills in the bot lane, the enemy's Mundo was split pushing for at least a minute or two. While he was doing that, he got the second tier tower as well, the local gold from it. So he's now got the shutdown, free farm, and local gold. This guy is huge. Considering how long that took to kill him 5v1, I start spam pinging the Executioner calling again. Someone needs to pick up this item, yet no one seems to be wanting to buy it. The time is now 21 minutes. I'm split pushing in the top lane while the team is fighting around the Drake. I'm playing catch up. It's a little bit greedy, but the Mundo is so far ahead that I need this extra gold. I push towards the tier 2 tower with the plan of ulting away after lowering it, but the Swain flashes in front of us, cancelling our ultimate, and this is an error by me. We should not have been here for this long, and the result of me dying is the enemy team forces the Baron. After Jinx got killed, our team should have immediately tried to abandon the fight. It should be known, once that ADC dies, you have no chance of killing Mundo. Enemy team gets the clean ace onto our team, but because I died so early, I do manage to teleport in before they finish the Baron, so we have a chance to create some disturbance. We stalled just long enough for the Jinx to respawn, come in, and clutch steal the Baron from the enemy team. After resetting, we see them doing a 1-3-1. Mundo, the biggest threat, is in the bot lane, and this means that we could potentially force a team fight in the middle of the map and end the game. The team fight was a success, but Karthus managed to kill most of the minions except for one. I figured, I'm so tanky, surely if I flash forward and we kill this Karma and I tank the tower, we could potentially end the game, but I didn't realize Yone was there, so it was a bad call. And in the end, the Jinx is the one who got punished for it because she dies and I waltz straight out of there. I'm now holding the top tower by myself while 3 of our members kill the Mundo in the bot lane. He's a massive problem. He needs to be killed, and then we need to force this Baron. Our team gets very lucky. They do manage to secure a kill onto the Mundo, and now we're rotating towards the Baron. At this exact moment, things are looking good. It's 4v2. We should be able to secure the Baron, but then Yone gets off an amazing ult. Jinx instantly dies, and now we're in a very awkward spot, sandwiched between the Yone and the fed Mundo. Given the health of the Baron and the fact that they just use skills to kill me, I don't fault the Silas for going in here and attempting to steal this Baron, but the correct play was definitely just to give up the Baron and defend the base. Because of his death, we didn't have enough enough to defend, and our timers are slightly too long, only by a couple of seconds. So if Silas was there, for certain we would have held. There's no guaranteeing we would have won this one either way. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you think we would have won this game, assuming we secured that Baron? Let me know in the comment section down below. And that leaves us losing the final game of today. So we end up on Diamond 4, 32 LP. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Y'all ain't on this level, bitches, Tilterella. Y'all can never beat them like a knock.